I'm Dr. Errol Bryce. And today we'll be discussing super performers, the invitation. And I will be giving you an invitation that will completely change your life. This invitation you might find to be one of the most life-changing events that you have ever experienced. Yes, we're inviting you to be a part of a phenomenon where everything you touch turns to gold. What? Yes, I'm serious. We're going to be inviting you to be a part of a process where you will be successful in everything you do. Whatever you touch will be successful. Whatever you're a part of will win. Whatever you do, you will find yourself always on top and not the bottom. By the time you're saying, well, maybe you're selling the Spanish Town Bridge or the Brooklyn Bridge. You're one of those selling the Brooklyn Bridge. No. I'm really serious. This is for real. You'll be so successful, it will be unbelievable. As a matter of fact, people will be afraid of you. They'll be afraid to touch you. When people try to hurt you, they'll try to hurt you this way and they'll turn off the next way. I'm going to show you now. Where I get this from is something that you can trust. It's actually from this book called the Bible. Now, you've heard of a lot of different religions. You have evidence-based medicine. You have all of these different things to get information. CNN, Fox TV, the whole thing. Now, the Bible is the only source that can tell you exactly what happened in the past, and it can predict the future 7,000 years ahead. It can tell you everything what's going to happen with each successful political administration. Yep, only the Bible can do that. And so because of this, that I'm using this as a source to tell you how you can be super fabulous. A future leader, a dynamic person, just fabulous in everywhere you go, in everything you do. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I want you to find the Bible. If you're not one that reads the Bible a lot, if you're in a hotel and you're watching this, if you go to look for your drawer, there's a Bible. Now, in the book called Deuteronomy, it's right towards the beginning of the Bible. You have Genesis, which is the beginning. You have Exodus, you have Leviticus, you have Numbers, and then you have Deuteronomy. So it's somewhere in the first few books of the Bible, you turn it. And then the Bible is divided in, each of these books is divided into chapters, okay? And then this one is called Deuteronomy chapter 28, and then each chapter divided in what we call verses. So if you turn to Deuteronomy chapter 28, and we are going to be reading from maybe the third verse. And this is the farewell speech that Moses gave to the Israelites just before they move into this awesome land that was promised to them. And Moses says, if you do this, you will be successful. You'll be awesome. You'll be fabulous. You'll be number one. So here's what it is. So we're talking about it being a super performer. Now, Deuteronomy chapter 28 in verse 3 said, blessed you shall be in the city, and blessed you shall be in the country. So if you fly up to Washington to do business, you're going to be successful. If you go to Wall Street, you're going to be successful. If you live in Spanish Town and you go to Kingston on some job, you will be successful. And if you go up to Red Ground or Moco or Pennant, you will be successful. Look here, what you touch, you will be successful. Okay? This is what it's saying. Successful in the city and successful in the country. And if we read verse 6 here. Blessed shall be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. So it's transportable. No matter where you are, which country, Whether you're traveling, when you go one way, you're successful. You come the other way, you're successful. This is the condition. Okay, verse 8 says, the Lord will command the blessing on you in your storehouses and in all to which you set your hand, and will bless you in the land which the Lord your God promises you. So here is a situation that your bank account, He will command a blessing in your bank account. It's for real. It is what it is. Okay, let's jump down to verse 10 here. Then all the people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of you. You'll be so blessed. You'll be so successful that people will be afraid of you. They will come up one end and they will be defeated the other end. Okay? They will come at you one way and they will go out the other way defeated. That's what it says right here in Deuteronomy 28. And if we read verse 12, the Lord will open to you His good treasure, the heavens, to give you rain in your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. You shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow. When it comes to money, God will be challenging the money through you, and you will be lending to others. You will be blessing others. You will never be in a situation that you have to be dependent on other people for financial support. You'll be the lender, never the borrower. Well, I'm serious. It is actually it. And this is why I'm actually reading from this so you can see it yourself. Okay, so the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only and not be beneath. You shall be the head and not the tail. Okay, doesn't matter what you're doing. You can even go against Usain Bolt. I'm not kidding. If you're a sprinter and that's where your talent is, and if you accept this invitation, you can even compete with Usain Bolt. No matter what it is, you will be the head and not the tail. So by now you're saying, well, what's the catch? Well, I must confess here, there is a catch. Okay? Everything you touch will turn to gold. But there's a condition. And if you just read in the same source, it shows you the condition. Let me read it for you. It says here in verses 13 and 14, and the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only and not beneath. If, here's a catch, if you heed the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command to you today, and be careful to observe them, you shall not turn aside from any of the words which I command you this day, to the right or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them. In other words, yes, you can get all these blessings. You can get all these blessings. You will be super successful. But you cannot deviate from what He's asked you to do. There is no wiggle room. So you have a situation, you get all these blessings, but the praise goes to Him. All the praise that you get will go to Him. Okay? The blessings you can get. Be number one. No, people will actually afraid of you when you walk into a building. They will not want to hurt you because they know their consequences. Okay? So the situation is you get the blessings for yourself. There is no wiggle room. Everything He asks you to do, you have to do it. And you give the praise to Him. And there's one more catch. There's a job that He wants you to do. Okay? He has this job that He must do. Okay? And I'm going to turn to it very quickly so you understand it. Matthew 24 and verse 14. Here it is. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a witness to all the nations, and then the earth shall come. In the same chapter, Matthew 24 and verse 7, it talks about COVID-19. So in a context of COVID-19 and all the things that's happening before you, there is this job that he wants you to do. So yes, you get all these blessings. It's there for the taking. And brother, I will take it. However, he wants you to get the blessing, but he wants you to praise him. And he wants to direct things. He wants to tell you exactly what to do, and you can't turn to the left or to the right. There's no wiggle room, and there's a job he wants you to do. Okay? It's called the pursuit. And next week, I'll be talking more about the pursuit. But it is this job that he wants you to do. So it is a formula that I looked at it and I decided that I'll take these blessings. And I'll just follow everything that he wants me to do. So it's quite a task, because he's gonna direct what you eat. He's gonna tell you you can eat this and you can't eat that. He's gonna tell you when to eat. He's going to tell you what, like for instance, he's going to tell you that he doesn't want you to eat at nights. He wants you to get most of your food towards the morning. And he'll explain to you all of that. He'll explain to you what you can eat, what type of food to eat, how much exercise to get, when you go to bed, who you talk to, how you talk. He's going to dictate everything. He's going to determine which day you go to church, which day you work. All of this, he's going to dictate it. And in return, you're going to be a hot shot. Now, I'm really serious. You're going to be fabulous. You're going to be fantastic. You're going to be super, super rich. Maybe not in financial goods, but you will be such a blessed person, a happy person, a successful person, that people look at you and they're asking, where him come from? Where is this guy from? I'm really serious. So if you're willing to give the praises to him, so when people look at you, these blessings, you don't show off and say, I did it by myself, but you show how God worked in the situation for you. So you praise him in everything. They talk about give all glory to him. Okay? So everything that happens to you, all these blessings, you point to him. Okay? That's the condition. The next condition is he's going to ask you to do a number of things, and there's no wiggle room. You can't turn to the left or you can't do it to the right. He's going to ask you to follow things, and you need to follow it in the exact way he asks you. And he has a job. You see, he came to save the lost. And he wants people to join him to save the lost. In return, you become a super hot shot. I'm not kidding. I was in Canada colporting, selling religious books. And one day I got this impression that he wanted me to do something. I was in a little town called Elliott Lake, Ontario. And it was in the middle of winter, somewhere around January or February. And I was driving this little car from Elliott Lake to Marathon, Ontario. And when I got there, I started knocking doors. And this was in the middle of winter. For those who remember physics, if you should look at the Fahrenheit thermometer and the Celsius, this place is so cold that there was no difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius. It was the same. It's almost minus 40. That's how cold this place was. And so your ears can freeze in 10 seconds. And so you wear something called muffs to cover your ears. You can't even go out with your ears exposed. And I was going knocking doors. And I knocked one door, and as I knocked this door and walked in, I heard, come in. So I opened the door, and I went in. I was so glad to get out of the cold. When I walked in, there was this man sitting in the living room fast asleep. So I said, wow. So I walked in, and as I walked in, he woke up. And he was startled. He said, who are you? What are you doing in my house? And he got up and he jumped towards me and said, get out, get out, get out. And I had this big brown heavy bag carrying with me. And he started pushing me, and I started going back and pushing me back and I opened the door quickly, and I said, my bag, and he was pushing me, and I got to the back porch outside. Now there's a little walkway, a little ledge, a little porch, and he pushed me over the porch. I got airborne and landed on my bottom in a pile of snow. And then he went for my bag and he threw it on my chest. Now I could hear my bones going, and immediately in the panic, in the chaos, I heard a voice saying, get up, get up, get up, walk quickly, get up, get up, get up, walk quickly. The voice was as clear as day. I got up, I grabbed my bag, and I started walking quickly to the next door. Didn't understand anything. I just heard the voice. Remember, you will hear this little voice, and it will whisper and tell you exactly what to do in every moment. If you're buying stocks, this little voice will tell you which stock to buy. It will tell you when to sell, when to buy. This little voice will be with you. So I heard a voice, get up, quickly, walk. And so I got up and I walked quickly to the next door. When I got to the next door, there was a woman all dressed in her hood, her winter coat, and she stood where the screen door was in her back, and she had her key in the lock. And as I walked up her driveway, she said to me, sir, where have you been? We've been looking for you. Come on in. And I walked in, and as I walked in, she said, put down your bag here. So I put down my bag. And she said to me, you have a big spread with a display with all the books on it. Take it out and put it on the ground. So I took it out and I put it on the ground. And she said to me, of these sets, I need 4 sets of this. This one here, I need 5 sets of this. And this one here, I need 10 sets of this. And this set, it's almost a month's supply of books she ordered. And she knew everything. And then she said to me, you have an invoice, okay? And there's a place that I'm supposed to sign. Let me sign it. So I gave her the empty invoice, and she signed it. And then there was a check under this little lamp, and she said, here is the down payment. And I said to her, ma'am, how did you know about all of this, of what I was selling? And she said, you went to my sister a few days ago, and you sold her 3 sets of books for the children, for adults. And I went by and I was visiting her, and I asked her, where is he? Where did he go? And she said, I don't know where he is, but he says he's going to everybody's house. So if you just wait, he'll come to your door. So she said to me, sir, I'm so glad you made it. I'm leaving for Europe, okay? And I'm a little bit late for my flight. So I want you to just fill it in. There's a down payment. And by the way, I prepared a meal that I couldn't eat. I just put it in the refrigerator. You can go take out that meal and you can eat it. And then when you're leaving, here is how you close the door. And she showed me how to close the door. And I sat down there. She left me in her house. I went inside and there was a steaming pot of rice and fish. Those days I used to eat fish. And I had a big dinner. There was a salad and a sumptuous meal. And I sold, I don't remember exactly now, it's about $2,000 of sales in one day. He will bless you when you come in. and He will bless you when you go out. If you will just listen to that voice, get up, get up, get up, move quickly, get up, get up. Had I stayed in that house 1 minute, I would have missed her. I would have missed her. Friends, it is for the taking. But He has this job, this invitation. And we're looking for 7,000 individuals, 7,000 laymen, 7,000 individuals who would just say, yes, I want to be successful. I want that success. We're asking for 7,000 people to come forward. This gospel must be preached to all the world, to every nation as a witness. Then the end will come. God is making a trade-off. He's giving you all these blessings, but in return, He wants you to give Him the praise, and He wants you to help Him with this job. He wants everybody to share in these blessings, and He needs you to be a part of this. There was a recent survey of all the universities in the world, which university the graduates are earning the highest. Yep. Was it Harvard University that got the award? That on average, each graduate is earning higher than any other graduate. Is it Yale? Was it Johns Hopkins? Well, it turns out that it was a little Christian university called Loma Linda. You'll be the head and not the tail. If you just follow what He asks you to do. Simple as that. I had the privilege of being accepted into a prestigious internal medicine specialty program, upstate New York, Wilson Memorial Hospital. And the first day of my rotation, the director of the program was Dr. Roy Gill, and he was the attendant that day. In other words, he was in charge of rounding with the patients. And that day was the darkest day of my entire life. Something happened that I was so ashamed. But I had accepted that invitation. But even in the darkest day, even in the most shameful situation, He comes through. Okay? Because I give Him the praise. And I have joined up with those who are deciding to take this message around. So, during that day, they were introducing all the doctors. So the way things are, you have the patient and the bed, and then you have the professor, and then you have about 4 to 6 junior doctors who are here. They're all graduates, and they're doing a specialty in internal medicine. And, I was towards the back, trying to hide, a little bit afraid of the first day of the residency rotation in internal medicine. And the professor asked everyone to introduce themselves. And one person, he was from Tufts University. The other one was from Johns Hopkins and Harvard, and all these big programs that everybody knows about. When it's time for me to introduce myself, I said, my name is Errol Bryce, and I graduated from University of Montemorelos. And everybody turned and looked at me as to say, where? And so I started explaining, University of Montemorelos is, when I realized it was a rhetorical question. They already started talking. They totally ignored what I was doing. And I felt so ashamed. I felt this small. And as I sat at that bedside, feeling so ashamed that I came from a university that nobody knew about, I woke up in time to hear him asking the question, we want you to examine this abdomen and tell me what you find. The first person from Harvard, he examined the abdomen, and he said, this patient has a left upper quadrant mass. Next person went after him and examined the abdomen and said, well, this person has an enlarged spleen. The next person went after him. I think she was from University of Iowa or something like that. And she said, yes, I agree, this patient has an enlarged spleen. So it was my turn. So I walked up and I was almost at the foot of the bed. And I could look at the abdomen. I definitely could see a little bit of asymmetry. So I knew there's something there. So I went and I examined the patient very well. And before I put my hand on the abdomen, I listened. And I listened to all 4 areas, they call them quadrants, of the abdomen. And then I percussed. And I got a feeling. And then nobody did any of this. And so I was taking a longer time. And when I put my hand on the abdomen, I realized that that was not a spleen. And I started saying to myself, should I just say a spleen like everybody else? And the little voice said, you can't wiggle to the right, you can't wiggle to the left, you have to tell the truth. So I said to him, sir, I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a spleen. I can't feel a notch. When I asked the patient to take a deep breath, there was no movement. I really don't think this is spleen. I think the patient either has a mass in the intestine or the kidney is enlarged. So the professor got upset. He said, give me the chart. Let me see the ultrasound. And he looked at the ultrasound and he said, what did you just say, sir? And I told him again. And he said to me, would you tell all the other doctors exactly how you came to that conclusion? Friends, he will pull you up and make you the head and not the tail. When I graduated from that program, there were 6 awards offered by that program. I received all 6 awards. Best read, outstanding performance. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that year they only offered 2 awards instead of 4. 1 week before, I received an award. I received in the graduation 2 awards. And 1 week later, the operator called me and told me there was a package at the operator. It was a 4th award. Then the State University of New York gave an award, and then American College of Physicians also gave an award. All 6 awards I received. The American College of Physicians was a merit award for outstanding research. God blesses. And He has this invitation for you. He wants you to be blessed when you come in and bless you. We're looking for 7,000 people to line up for this. And next week, I'm going to talk to you about the pursuit, the job that He has for you. May God bless you. See you next week.